It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
At least we have a list.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Peter Clay is here today.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another We're Still Alive edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay, here to tell you I'm still alive. Still got my Roku, still doing what I can to help this stay at home. And thank goodness for the Roku, because I don't know what I do otherwise, and other things as well, too. Podcasts and books and all that good stuff, too. So a lot of things to keep your mind from straying too far and thinking about things too seriously so that we can get by for another day. So not much is different from last week, from this week. And so just when you think there's a glimmer of hope and things are going to change and all that stuff, and no, we're back where we started again. So, hey, we're going to get back to normal? No, stay put. And then everyone says, oh, well, next year we'll be in the same spot, and who knows? But we can't think too far ahead, so let's not think about anything. Let's do, and let's get started. Okay, so last week I mentioned about all the things that were free. Because there's a lot of free promos going out there, a lot of people giving stuff away to kind of give you something to do and all that stuff. And why pay for subscriptions when you can get all this stuff for free? One thought is, well, as long as you've got the subscription and you've paid for it already, binge the heck out of it and get as much use out of it as you can. You've paid for it, use it. But if you're getting to the point where it's starting to get a little tight and you're fearing like, oh no, I don't know if I can let this go, well, there's plenty of things out there. And that's the benefit of having a Roku to begin with, because you have that one section right there called Featured Free right on the left-hand side there. You just hit that tab and it'll let you know what's all available as it is. And that list is growing. That is a good reference as it is right now, just to find a whole bunch of stuff for free, and so you don't have to worry about anything along those lines. I know it doesn't feel like it's not Netflix, I can't live type of thing, but we have survived a very long time without Netflix. We get it every now and then for certain things, and then we let it go. And we do that with a lot of things. We've done it with Disney Plus. We've done it with some things. Now, Amazon Prime is a good example. We've let that go a little bit here and there now, too. Amazon, kind of important right now, seemingly. And so that is another benefit, is to have all those channels. Little hard to navigate sometimes, but they're getting better at it. So another good reference has been from Mac Rumors, of all things, put together a guide of all the streaming content. Well, their version of all. There's a lot of things out there, but a little bit more comprehensive list. It's at macrumors.com, and you just do a search for Mac Rumors free streaming, and you'll find it. It was dated April 13th, 2020. And so here's the list. I'll kind of go through them, and then I'll add my little 2 cents in every now and then, too. So a list of all the things available for free right now, starting with Apple TV+. Some of their things, if now on the Roku, you just get the Apple TV app. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows are available for free. No subscription is required. You just need to sign in. If you have an Apple ID, you just log in as if you were getting the app, and it's fine. And it'll also show you all the different things that they're giving away for free samples as well. So a couple of shows, Dickinson, For All Mankind, and Snoopy in Space are available for free. I might have to check out Snoopy. Who wouldn't want to check out Snoopy? So that's available to you. Now, last week I mentioned HBO, and there was a list. There was a series of shows that they were giving away for free, but there wasn't a list, and it was hard to find. It wasn't available on the HBO Now app. Well, this has now become a little easier. One, like I just said, the Featured Free on Roku will have a list. Hulu is got the list of HBO shows that are available, and one other one that I can't remember right off the top of my head. I think it was Amazon. I believe it is. So there's a list. So some of those things like Barry, Big Little Lies, Silicon Valley, Veep, True Blood, The Wire, and I also believe The Sopranos Some movies like Pokemon Detective Pikachu. So if that's floats your boat, that's available to you. Here's a different one that I haven't mentioned before, AMC Networks. Now, this is not something I use or get, but they are now offering something, so this might be worth a check. So, including the first half of The Walking Dead Season 10 is available, some BBC nature documentaries, that's always fun, Sundance movies, and then also some of their IFC programming. That's another separate channel, but they're now looping them together, and shows like Brockmire and Mystery Science Theater 3000 is available on the AMC app. Mystery Science Theater 3000, you can get all you want on that, and Pluto as well then too. I mentioned this last week also as well. Epix is available through Apple TV. So if you've got that app looking for Snoopy in space, you can also get Epix, and then also a series of 30-day trials and all that stuff through just Apple as it is, including Showtime. I mentioned that last week as well. CBS All Access, we have it for another month, and then we're going to let it go because all our shows are ending. And so we'll just let that go for now, but we'll get back in the fall or whenever it becomes relevant again. But if you've never had it or let it go for a while, they are now giving a free month trial as well on CBS All Access. Okay, the huge one, YouTube. If you don't have, do I really need to mention anything about YouTube? It is available, and so now some of their originals are available as well. You don't have to do the premium to get some of those things. Also available on YouTube right now, if you need some relaxing, some calming, and some just some creativity. Bob Ross, all of his painting programs are available. And so you look at that and he goes, geez, I could do that. And then you try and do it and he goes, I can't do that. But it's fun to watch, and he's a very calming voice. This one I don't quite understand because it's free already, and that's PBS Kids. But now I guess apparently the iOS app removes the requirement that people create a login to watch the content. Okay, so there you have it. You can get the Roku app for PBS Kids, and you can access all that stuff. Amazon Prime is offering free access to kids' movies and TV shows without a Prime subscription in an effort to keep children entertained. Also, they are doing a little better job of the IMDb TV and making that a little bit more stand out a little bit, so it's not so hard to find on the Roku app for that. Sling TV. I've mentioned this for the past couple of weeks. It's one of those thanks but no thanks for me, but if you're in need of things, they're doing something that's a little interesting right now too. You need a login, but you won't really want to restart your service. Now, you can get 7 days of Sling Blue for free right now. You can do that if you wish, and that's fine. But you can get a lot of that stuff for free in other places. But if you also, they're just giving you a whole bunch of stuff, and you can just say proceed to watch free TV. But then they're also doing a happy hour. Now, I don't know if it's Eastern Standard Time or if it's your time or whenever it is, but from 5 p.m. to midnight, they're basically giving the Sling Blue, or they rotate it a little bit too. So Sling, it's usually right on your Roku remote anyway, so you can just hit it and just check it out. So if you just need something to binge or something like that, I can't complain to somebody who's giving away stuff for free and all that stuff. A lot of it doesn't work for me, but that's okay. Hulu is 30 days instead of 2 weeks. Netflix, the same. Quibi, I don't talk about because they don't have a Roku. And let's see, here's some other services that are available. You can get this either through the Apple TV or just through their own apps. Through Apple TV, A&E Crime Central, Acorn TV, which we've been using, and it's fine. Arrow Video Channel, History Vault, Lifetime Movie Club, Noggin. I think Noggin, if you go through Roku, you can get 60 days for free. PBS Living, Shudder, Smithsonian Plus, Sundance Now, you have to enter a promo code. Urban Movie Channel, you have to enter a promo code, but you get 30 days for free then. Then, if you're into anima, there's High Dive, VRV, and that's for anima. Then there's Digital Concert Hall. You can get a 1-month free trial for classical music and live streams. Metropolitan Opera, they've always given you free stuff before. And then, of course, there's Pluto TV, Tubi, Zumo, Stir, all that good stuff. So much free stuff available. You're not beholden to a subscription service. But that's just a little bit more detailed list of all the things that are available out there right now. I've always suggested Tubi, YouTube, and the Roku channel. Those will get you by no matter what. So there you have it. Free stuff on your Roku here on me and my Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Let's have a little chit-chat, but stay within safe distance rules and all that stuff, but just come closer so we can have just a little bit of a chat. I couldn't do this without the support of the Internet Archive at archive.org. They have been providing the bandwidth for all my podcasts for a very long time now, over 2 decades now, and I can't thank them enough. And one of the beauties of the Internet Archive is to be able to actually go into the archive and find things and discover things, and one of them is my own stuff. And so ever since the kind of lockdown has occurred, I've been going through some of my old stuff and just trying to go through it, all that stuff, and say, hey, I actually did that, and type of thing. So I have been daily now on my original podcast site, the Radio Affliction, radioaffliction.com, have been putting up new stuff of old stuff. That makes any sense. But anyway, you can check that out today at radioaffliction.com. Thanks to the Internet Archive for procuring that stuff and taking care of it for all these years. And it's still there, and it still works. And so I've been re-podcasting it. And so check that out. And so one of the things I'm most proud of is a thing I call the Radio Affliction Tuning Radio. It is little snippets of everything that I've done from back when I worked at a radio station to when I would record with friends and doing private stuff, and then obviously podcasting and stuff. So I kind of did all those things in little segments, and it kind of look at it as if you were coming from the future and somebody came in here and discovered a radio and like, what is this? And so it would tune this radio and so listen to all my stuff. So it goes to a tuning radio. So each segment goes as if you were tuning a radio type of thing. One of the things I'm proud of. So it's about an hour and a half long. It's kind of a listen, but hey, we don't have anything else to do right now. So check that out at radioaffliction.com. Thanks to archive.org and for all they do on that stuff. They've kept that safe and it's still available and all that stuff. And all thanks to them. So check it out today. Check out radioaffliction.com. Check out archive.org and all the things. And if you got a buck or two or something left in your PayPal or anything left like that, maybe consider supporting them and all that stuff too. We thank them. We love them. And by we, I mean me. Check out archive.org. Okay, well, one of the benefits of a show like me and My Roku, a show about me and how I do things and all that stuff, and I say that not to be glib. I don't say, hey, do the things that I do and you'll be successful. No, I don't do that. It's kind of a walk in my shoes type of thing. I go out and I explore and I try and learn. And when I go and seek for myself type of thing, I'd like to say, hey, this is what I learned type of thing. So maybe you can go seek for yourself type of thing. You learn for yourself, and I'm just here to speed the process along or maybe kickstart something along those lines. The also part about me is to like to tell you what I do and what I go through and all that stuff. So when life happens and all that stuff, I'd like to share that as well and all that stuff. So we had a loss in the family, and it's kind of hard to, type of things. It's like part of it is okay. It's just the way thing happens, I think. And when you think of, wow, it's just a pet, well, it's part of the family. And when you had something in your life for 18 years, that's a long time. It's depending how long I live and all this stuff. It's going to be at least a third of my life. I had this little creature, and she was a big part of my life. And it was kind of the last living thing just a whole lifetime ago when I lived in Colorado and I was with somebody else type of thing. And when you've been in another relationship for so long, it seems like, and that kind of intersected with it and all that stuff, and it became part of that as well then it's just kind of interesting. So the Roku helps. Having another little creature like standing at my desk looking at me right now as I do this too also helps as well. And just kind of just moving on. But also let you know that, hey, this happened. And this is kind of affecting me as well and all that stuff. So just sharing. It's a good part of the healing process as well. getting back to the Roku. And getting back to what I was just talking about as far as the Internet Archive and past shows that I've done, one of the shows I did was because I've got a stupid question. And we put that up as part of my daily little historical thing on the podcast. And we just asked stupid questions and all type of things. So it was a fun episode that's up there on radioaffliction.com. But here's one that may have made the list back then, but I think this is a great question. Is cord cutting your last resort, your first resort, or in the middle? Now, part of that is, well, it's different for everyone type of thing, but for some people, this could be their last resort. It's like, hey, we're up against a budget crunch. We need to cut the cord. We don't need this stuff anymore. And then once you've cut the cord, and now you've got Netflix, you've got Hulu, you got all these things. Now I have to cut this and that and all that stuff. So for us, it's our first resort now. It's just what we do. We have cut the cord, and now we jostle through all these things, and then we got to figure out, well, we like this show, so we're going to do this for now. And now a lot of our network shows are going off, so we won't need CBS anymore. Maybe we won't need Hulu. But Hulu has so many other things, though. Anyway, so that's a good question. Is cord cutting your last resort, your first resort, or in the middle? Or have you just never considered it before? Because here's another one who said, hey, it took a complete suspension of all live sports for me to understand the allure of why people choose cord cutting. Yeah, because if you want live sports and all that stuff, you really only had one choice. Not really, but, that got better over time at first. So, yeah. Well, I should get back to my Roku. Starting to get a little itchy, I could discuss some of the things I'm watching right now. I've been going through to get back into sports and all that stuff. I did watch, since it was Masters weekend, I did watch the final rounds on YouTube a little bit, just mostly in the background, because to be perfectly honest, that's what sports had become for me. It's just a background sport. Baseball's like that to me, so it's nice to have a game in the background. MLB still has all their games available. You do need to log in, but it is free to watch last year's games. NFL, I have not watched that in a while. I should check to see if that's still going. It's supposed to be going until May 31st. Check that out. We watched Burn Notice last night because we needed to. And it was fun to kind of rehash that show. It's a nice, fun show that's available on Hulu and Amazon Prime. So anyway, I should get back. I hope you're doing well and you're safe and you're doing okay. If you need anything, you can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com for any questions, tips, or tricks or anything along those lines. A special thanks to archive.org for their support. We couldn't do it without them. Check them out today, archive.org. You can get this podcast directly to you. Just subscribe. It's easy. It's available on the major platforms. If you want a list, we gave a list of all the free stuff today. Let's have a list of podcast suppliers for this podcast. Here it is. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, and radio.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you today. Check it out. I will be back as soon as I can. I'm hoping you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.